1,000 trees, and olives are, there are as many different types of olives as there are different types of grapes. Actually, there are almost twice as many types of olives as there are grapes. So this is the grove, and these are some olives. I'm so glad that you're here now, even though we're not, anyone on a grape tour today is probably picking grapes and getting stung by bees, but we won't be harvesting until right after Thanksgiving, or right before Thanksgiving we start. You are welcome to pick an olive, any olive, off of the trees, but just don't bite into it, because you're going to be very unpleasantly surprised. Has anyone ever tasted a raw olive? But when we're harvesting, the outside of this would be maybe purple, and you pull the fruit back, or the peel back, and the inside of the fruit would be purple, pink to purple as well, if it's ripe. And if it's unripe, it can be tricky. It looks purple on the outside, and it can be green like this on the inside. So unlike the grape people, I don't know how much you know about grape harvest, but they get all these tests done. They get to send it off to a lab, and bricks, and it's all we hear about for like 2 months when I'm at school. Oh, how are your bricks looking? La la la. And I just stand in the background because I have nothing to contribute to that conversation. But when it comes to our harvest time, we're out here literally with a knife cutting the fruit open, and that's how we decide. We don't have any tests that we can rely on. And that's part of the art of it too, is you kind of say, yeah, I think this is about right. We will pick an entire tree, and that means that we'll pick every olive on the tree, even some that are unripe. And that contributes to the flavor profile that we like. We like some unripe fruit. It gives it some kick. It gives it some of that bitter backbone that a lot of Tuscan oils are known for. Not everybody would do that culturally. Like France, for example, they do very late harvest oils, and their olives produce a super buttery oil anyway, generally. So you get a buttery oil that's late harvest, so it's softer. We're going to be more on the early harvest side, and we like that robust pepper, bitter taste. Harvesters for olive trees, we don't use them. At Pasolivo, we pick every olive by hand. And I only have 2 kids, so we bring in a lot of people to help us. 40 or 50 people a day is what it takes us. Our harvest last year was, I think, 13 days, over a 3-week period, 50 people a day. About 10, between 9 and 11 tons a day of our own fruit, and then we press for some other people as well. An olive like that, just like that, that's how we pick it. So it's almost like a milking, and we wear buckets in front, either plastic buckets that kind of fit your body. They have a little indentation here for your belly to fit into, and they strap to your shoulders, or they're really classy, just tie a bucket to your belt, which is what I usually end up with. And then you just milk it right into there, into that bucket. Sometimes you get some leaves, and we have a part of the machine that pulls the leaves away, and we also, it's a great job for kids to just stand at the deleafer and kind of pull those last leaves away. As Californians, most of the oil that we've had is not from California and is not very fresh. So if you're buying fresh, everyone says buy fresh, buy local. In the United States, that means buying California olive oil, because we're pretty much 99% of the oil made in the United States. That's been cut with canola oil and hazelnut oil. It's certainly not extra virgin oil, and so part of what we do as an industry is, what you might not like my oil, I'm not going to cry. You might love it, but at the very least, hopefully at the end of the day today, you'll have a really nice glass of wine, and you'll think about, I want olive oil that tastes like olives. I want olive oil that's fresh, that's going to give me the health benefits. I want to buy an olive oil from California because I know I'm getting it within a few months of when it was made, or whatever. Or find a trusted source for buying your oil. Find a Zingerman's, which is out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, the best gourmet store, I think, in the country. Find a small store close to you that you trust the buyer there, and just tell them what you're looking for and say, do you know when this was made? How fresh is this? Look for an olive oil with a date on it that tells you when it was made. All those things. You look at the trees, you can see how, on this tree, these are missions. They grow up, they grow out, and if you look at how the olives grow, they tend to grow, 1 or 2 at a time. Little, not really clusters, but every type of olive is different, and we have some Italian varietals that grow literally, 12 to 15 in a bunch, like grapes. We have some olive trees that look like weeping willow trees, and the branches literally go down and they just hang like that. There are so many different kinds and so many different variables in olive oil. It's really fun as a consumer because you can actually start to taste all different types of fresh olive oil made in California, from Italian varietals and French varietals and Spanish varietals and California varietals. We mostly have Italian, that's what you're going to taste today.